America has several haunted castles with eerie histories. Some are known for ghostly apparitions, mysterious whispers, and flickering lights. Others have tragic pasts involving lost souls, abandoned rooms, and chilling cold spots. Visitors often report hearing footsteps when no one is around or seeing shadowy figures in the halls. Legends of former owners, soldiers, and heartbroken spirits add to the spooky atmosphere. Whether located on misty hills, deep in forests, or near quiet lakes, these castles hold secrets that send shivers down the spine. Now we will visit the most haunted castles in America. Number 1. Franklin Castle. Franklin Castle, located in Cleveland, Ohio, is often considered the most haunted house in the state. Built in 1881 by Hans Tiedemann, a wealthy German immigrant and banker, the house was designed as a grand Victorian mansion for his family. However, tragedy soon followed, leading to an eerie history filled with ghostly encounters and terrifying legends. Between 1891 and 1895, several members of Tiedemann's family died inside the home. The first loss was his teenage daughter, Emma, who reportedly passed away from diabetes. Soon after, his elderly mother also died. Over the next few years, 3 more of his children mysteriously died. Though the official records suggest natural causes, many people at the time believed there was something more sinister at play. In 1895, Tiedemann's wife, Louise, also passed away. After her death, he sold the house, and rumors of dark events began to spread. Stories emerged that Tiedemann may have been involved in the deaths of his family members. Some believe he had secret passageways built to hide terrible crimes. Decades later, new owners discovered hidden rooms and tunnels, some containing old clothing and even human bones. While some historians believe the bones belonged to medical students who once lived in the house, others insist they were proof of the home's dark past. Over the years, Franklin Castle became known for its paranormal activity. Residents and visitors have reported hearing mysterious voices, whispering conversations, and unexplained footsteps echoing through the hallways. Many people claim to see the ghostly figure of a young girl in white, believed to be Emma, wandering through the house. Others report sudden cold spots, flickering lights, and doors opening and closing on their own. Some visitors have even heard the sound of a baby crying, though no infants have lived there in decades. Shadowy figures have been seen moving through the home, and some have experienced feelings of being watched or touched by unseen hands. Despite various attempts to renovate the house, the hauntings continue. Paranormal investigators and ghost hunters frequently visit Franklin Castle, hoping to capture evidence of its supernatural activity. Some believe the spirits of Tiedemann's family are trapped inside, while others think the house itself holds a dark energy that refuses to fade. Though the castle has changed ownership many times, its eerie reputation remains. Whether the stories are true or not, Franklin Castle's dark history and ghostly legends continue to attract those fascinated by the supernatural. Number 2. Kimball Castle. Kimball Castle, located on the shores of Lake Sunapee in New Hampshire, is often regarded as one of the most haunted castles in America. Built in the early 1900s by wealthy industrialist James Kimball, the castle was constructed as a grand residence but was left unfinished and abandoned for many years after Kimball's death in 1923. Its incomplete structure and mysterious past have contributed to its reputation as a haunting ground, with numerous reports of strange occurrences and paranormal activity. Over the years, many visitors and investigators have reported chilling experiences within the castle. One of the most common stories involves the ghostly figure of a woman dressed in white, believed to be the spirit of James Kimball's wife. She is said to appear on the castle's grand staircase or near the windows, gazing out over the lake. Some claim to have felt an overwhelming sense of sadness or longing in her presence, as if she were waiting for something or someone. In addition to sightings of the woman in white, the castle is known for eerie noises and unexplained sounds. People have reported hearing the sounds of footsteps echoing through empty hallways, the clinking of glasses in the abandoned dining room, and soft whispers that seem to come from nowhere. The atmosphere of the castle is often described as heavy and oppressive, with some visitors experiencing a sudden drop in temperature or an unexplained sense of dread when entering certain rooms. The most disturbing stories come from the basement and upper floors of Kimball Castle. Paranormal investigators have recorded strange EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, in these areas, with voices seemingly coming from the walls. The upper floors, where many of the unfinished rooms still remain, are said to have a particularly unsettling energy, with some guests claiming to feel as though they were being watched or followed by an invisible presence. The castle's isolated location and its tragic history only add to the sense of unease that surrounds it. While the grounds are still privately owned and not regularly open to the public, those who have visited Kimball Castle often leave with eerie tales of ghostly encounters and feelings of being in the presence of spirits who never quite left. Despite its beautiful location and the once grand vision behind its creation, Kimball Castle remains a haunting reminder of the past, its paranormal stories continuing to captivate those who are drawn to its mystery. Number 3. Thornwood Castle. Thornwood Castle, located in Lakewood, Washington, is one of the most haunted castles in America. Built in the early 1900s by Chester Thorne, a wealthy businessman, the mansion was constructed using pieces of a 400-year-old English castle that were shipped across the ocean and rebuilt in Washington. This connection to the past, along with its tragic history, is believed to be the source of the paranormal activity that has made Thornwood Castle a hotspot for ghost hunters and supernatural enthusiasts. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt the castle is that of Anna Thorne, Chester's wife. Many guests and visitors have reported seeing the apparition of a woman in an elegant gown walking through the gardens or standing by the windows. Some claim to feel a warm, comforting presence, while others have heard soft whispers when no one else is around. It is believed that Anna, who spent many happy years in the castle, still lingers in her beloved home. There are also stories of ghostly children seen playing in the hallways and near the grand staircase. Witnesses have heard laughter and the sounds of tiny footsteps running through empty corridors. Some visitors claim to have seen shadowy figures darting around corners, only to disappear when approached. The castle's mirrors and windows are also known to reflect images of people who aren't physically present, leading many to believe that spirits are still attached to the home. The basement and hidden passages of the castle have a much darker reputation. Some have reported an eerie, heavy energy in these areas, as if being watched by unseen eyes. Paranormal investigators have recorded strange whispers and unexplained noises, and some visitors have even claimed to feel sudden cold spots or a feeling of being touched by invisible hands. Another chilling experience involves the castle's antique furniture. Some pieces, particularly a large antique mirror, are said to be haunted. Guests have reported seeing figures standing in the mirror that vanish when they turn around. Others have witnessed chairs moving slightly on their own or felt an unexplainable sense of dread while standing near certain objects. Despite its ghostly legends, Thornwood Castle remains a popular destination for weddings, events, and paranormal investigations. Many who visit are drawn to its beauty and history, but few leave without feeling a lingering presence of the past. Whether it is the spirits of the Thorne family or the energy of the centuries-old materials used to build it, Thornwood Castle continues to be one of the most mysterious and haunted locations in America. Number 4. Bolt Castle. Bolt Castle, located on Hart Island in the Thousand Islands region of New York, is one of the most beautiful yet haunting places in America. Built in the early 1900s by millionaire Odell E. George C. Bolt, the castle was meant to be a grand symbol of love for his wife, Louise. However, tragedy struck before the dream could be completed. In 1904, just as construction was nearing completion, Louise suddenly passed away. Devastated by her death, Bolt immediately stopped all work on the castle, leaving it abandoned for over 70 years. The unfinished structure became a ghostly reminder of lost love and a place filled with sorrow and paranormal activity. Visitors to Bolt Castle often report seeing the ghostly figure of a woman in white wandering the halls and gardens. Many believe this spirit to be Louise Bolt, whose soul is still tied to the place her husband built for her. Some visitors claim to feel an overwhelming sense of sadness upon entering certain rooms, as if they are experiencing the heartbreak that George Bolt felt when he lost his beloved wife. Others have heard soft whispers, sighs, and even faint crying echoing through the empty corridors, despite no one else being around. There have also been reports of shadowy figures moving near the windows and balconies, especially in the upper levels of the castle. Some say these are spirits of workers who once toiled on the grand estate, left to wander forever after the sudden halt of construction. A few visitors have even described seeing lights flickering inside the castle at night, though there is no electricity in certain parts of the structure. Mysterious cold spots and sudden breezes in closed rooms further add to the eerie atmosphere. Boaters passing by the island have also experienced strange phenomena. Some claim to hear music playing softly from the castle, as if a grand ball is still taking place. Others have seen misty figures standing on the balconies, vanishing when approached. Some paranormal investigators believe the unfinished nature of the castle and the deep emotions attached to it have created a powerful energy, keeping spirits bound to the site. Despite being restored and now open to the public, Bolt Castle remains haunted by its tragic history. The love story behind it is both beautiful and heartbreaking, and many believe that the spirits of the past still roam the island, forever tied to a dream that was never fulfilled. The haunting presence of Bolt Castle continues to intrigue and unsettle visitors, making it one of the most mysterious locations in America. Number 5. Bannerman Castle. Bannerman Castle, located on Polypel Island in New York's Hudson River, is one of the most mysterious and haunted places in America. Built by Francis Bannerman VI in the early 1900s, the castle was originally a storage facility for his massive collection of military surplus, including weapons, ammunition, and explosives. The castle's eerie appearance and tragic history have fueled countless ghost stories and paranormal encounters over the years. The castle's haunting history began with Francis Bannerman's sudden death in 1918, leaving his dream unfinished. Just 2 years later, a massive explosion occurred on the island, destroying part of the castle. Some believe the blast was caused by unstable ammunition, while others think something more sinister was at play. After the explosion, the castle slowly fell into decay, and the spirits of the past seemed to take over. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported strange occurrences on the island. Mysterious shadows are often seen moving through the ruins, disappearing into the mist. Some claim to hear whispers echoing through the crumbling walls, as if voices from the past are still present. Footsteps can be heard on the deserted pathways, even when no one else is around. The most unsettling experiences involve sightings of ghostly figures dressed in old military uniforms, believed to be the spirits of former workers or soldiers connected to the stored weapons. Another legend involves a woman in white, often seen standing near the water's edge. Some say she is the ghost of a woman who drowned near the island, while others believe she is connected to the Bannerman family. Her presence is usually accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature and an overwhelming feeling of sadness. Even boaters passing by the island have reported eerie experiences. Some have seen strange lights flickering within the ruins, despite the fact that there is no electricity. Others have heard distant gunfire or cannon blasts, as if the spirits of the island are reliving their past. Bannerman Castle remains an abandoned and hauntingly beautiful site, attracting ghost hunters and historians alike. The combination of its tragic past, mysterious explosion, and ghostly encounters has made it one of the most haunted locations in America. Despite attempts to preserve the ruins, the spirits of Bannerman Castle seem to remain, leaving visitors with chilling experiences and unanswered questions. Number 6. Manresa Castle. Manresa Castle, located in Port Townsend, Washington, is widely considered one of the most haunted castles in America. Built in 1892 by Charles Eisenbeis, a wealthy businessman, The castle was originally a grand private residence. After his death, the building changed hands several times, eventually becoming a Jesuit monastery in the 1920s before being converted into a hotel. Over the years, countless guests and staff members have reported eerie encounters, ghostly apparitions, and unexplained paranormal activity, making Manresa Castle one of Washington's most haunted landmarks. One of the most famous ghost stories linked to the castle involves a young woman who is said to have taken her own life in one of the tower rooms. According to legend, she was heartbroken after her lover never returned from war. Believing she had been abandoned, she threw herself out of the window to her death. Many guests who have stayed in this room have reported strange occurrences, including the feeling of being watched, sudden cold spots, and the sensation of an invisible presence brushing against them in the night. Some have even claimed to hear soft crying or whispers echoing through the room when no one else was around. Another well-known ghost story involves a Jesuit priest who supposedly hanged himself in the attic during the time when the castle was used as a monastery. His restless spirit is said to linger in the upper floors, where guests and staff often report the sound of heavy footsteps pacing back and forth, doors opening and closing on their own, and a feeling of an overwhelming presence. Some have seen shadowy figures moving in the hallways, while others have experienced flickering lights and objects shifting without explanation. The castle's bar and dining area are also rumored to be haunted. Patrons and employees have reported seeing glasses move across the counter by themselves, hearing phantom voices engaged in conversation, and even feeling invisible hands touch them unexpectedly. The ghostly activity seems to intensify late at night, especially when the castle is quiet and empty. Despite its eerie reputation, Manresa Castle continues to operate as a hotel, attracting both history lovers and ghost hunters. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, strange orbs in photographs, and sudden temperature drops, all adding to the belief that spirits still roam its halls. Whether it's the heartbroken woman, the tormented priest, or other lingering souls from the past, Manresa Castle remains a chilling reminder that some spirits refuse to leave. Number 7. Singer Castle. Singer Castle, located on Dark Island in the St. Lawrence River, New York, is one of the most mysterious and haunted castles in America. Built in the early 1900s by Frederick Bourne, the wealthy president of the Singer Sewing Machine Company, the castle was designed as a luxurious retreat. However, beneath its grand architecture and hidden passageways lies a chilling history filled with ghostly encounters, eerie voices, and unexplained paranormal activity. One of the most terrifying aspects of Singer Castle is its extensive network of secret tunnels and hidden rooms. Bourne designed the castle with hidden passageways so that servants could move unseen. But today, these dark corridors are the center of many ghost stories. Visitors have reported hearing whispers and footsteps echoing through the empty tunnels, even when no one is there. Some have even claimed to feel an unseen presence watching them as they explore the castle's many rooms. A common ghostly sighting is that of a shadowy figure wandering the halls. Many believe this spirit could be that of a former servant who never left, still carrying out their duties in the afterlife. Guests have reported seeing glimpses of this dark figure in the corners of their vision, only for it to disappear when they turn to look directly. Others have described feelings of being followed or touched by invisible hands while walking through the castle. Another well-known haunting is said to be the spirit of Frederick Bourne himself. Some claim to have seen a man in early 1900s style clothing standing near the castle's windows, gazing out at the river as if waiting for someone. Others have heard deep, unexplainable sighs or the sound of heavy boots walking across the floors late at night. The dining hall and library seem to be particularly active areas, with reports of books falling from shelves and chairs moving on their own. In the castle's basement, where old prison cells still remain from the island's earlier history, the energy becomes even darker. Visitors have reported feelings of intense dread and an overwhelming pressure in their chests. Some have heard distant, ghostly moans, while others claim to have seen glowing orbs floating through the darkness. Paranormal investigators who have spent the night at Singer Castle have captured chilling EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, including voices whispering names and unintelligible phrases. Despite its haunted reputation, Singer Castle remains a popular tourist attraction, drawing those fascinated by its history and ghostly legends. Whether the spirits are former owners, servants, or lost souls from the past, one thing is certain: Singer Castle holds secrets that refuse to stay silent. Number 8. Castle Warden. Castle Warden, located in St. Augustine, Florida, is one of the most haunted castles in America, with a dark history that continues to fuel ghostly legends. Built in the late 1920s as a winter home for millionaire William Warden, the castle was later converted into a hotel before becoming the first Ripley's Believe It or Not museum in 1950. While the castle is famous for its collection of oddities, it is also well known for its paranormal activity, with reports of eerie voices, ghostly apparitions, and unexplained sounds. One of the most chilling stories tied to Castle Warden involves a deadly fire that occurred while it was a hotel. In the early 1940s, 2 women were trapped in an upstairs room when a fire broke out. Both perished, and many believe their spirits never left. Guests and employees have reported hearing the sounds of women screaming in the upper floors, only to find no one there. Some have seen ghostly figures of women in period clothing wandering through the hallways, vanishing into thin air when approached. Cold spots and the smell of burning wood have been experienced in the exact location where the fire took place, further cementing the belief that their souls remain trapped within the castle's walls. Another well-known spirit in Castle Warden is believed to be that of a former servant. Many guests have reported seeing a shadowy figure moving through the hallways or standing at the end of their bed at night. This spirit is said to be protective rather than harmful, watching over the building and its visitors. Some believe he was a loyal worker who continues to fulfill his duties even in the afterlife. The basement of Castle Warden is one of the most active paranormal hotspots. Staff members have reported objects moving on their own, strange whispering voices, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs, electronic voice phenomena of unknown voices, and some have even seen shadowy figures darting through the dimly lit corridors. Even outside the castle, the eerie energy continues. People walking past at night have reported seeing figures in the windows, despite the building being closed. Others have heard laughter and music coming from inside, as if a ghostly party is still taking place. Whether due to the tragic fire, past residents, or the strange artifacts housed within, Castle Warden remains one of Florida's most haunted locations, drawing those curious enough to experience its restless spirits firsthand. Number 9.